Ready? The time has come. The time is here. It's actually here. It's 9 o'clock. We made it happen with Miss Shirley Jones. Listen, in 1979, the Jones Girls, You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else, showed Gamble and Huff still had their musical touch. The classic went top 10 on the Billboard's R&B and disco charts. However, lead singer Shirley Jones and the sisters Brenda and Valorie were not new to this game. Gospel singer Mary Frazier Jones groomed her daughter's unique harmonies when they were babies in the hometown of Detroit, baby. What's up, Detroit? By the time Shirley and her sisters signed to Philadelphia International Records, they were teenage veterans in the game. The Jones sisters traveled the world for several years with fellow Detroiter Diana Ross, baby. We have royalty in the building tonight as her background singers. Miss Ross even let the girls shine on their own spot when they sang If I Ever Lose This Heaven. Diana Ross told Gamble and Huff that these girls are way too good to be somebody's background singers. Now that is what I am talking about. Are you guys ready? Are y'all ready to make this thing happen? I am. Introducing Miss Shirley Jones. Let's give it up.
Hi, I'm ready too. Finally. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Woo, I'm doing good. I had a day with my grandbabies, but I'm doing good.
Fantastic. And I know how that can be. I have grandsons myself, and it can be quite the adventure.
Woo,
Let me just say that.
A 3-year-old and an 11-month-old. So.
Wow.
Yes.
Is it 2 boys, a boy, girl?
A boy, girl.
Boy, girl. Okay, yes. Well, hey, congratulations on your babies.
Thank
I
you.
always tell my daughters I could have skipped over them and just went straight to the grandkids.
I know.
Grandkids are awesome.
There's nothing like being a grandma, I tell you.
I mean, seriously. Now, the way that we sip tea here, you have so much. I mean, you've been recording since 1970?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
really?
No, actually before then, because we actually started singing as background singers for my mom when I was like maybe 8 or 9, and we're stair steps. So if I was 8 or 9, then Brenda and Valorie were like 7 and 6, So we were her background singers first, and at such an early age. And she's the one, I give all credit to my mother for training our voices, for teaching us how to blend and to harmonize, and for making us rehearse to the point where everything that we did as the Jones Girls, we strove for perfection in our harmonies and our sound.
Now, I have a little bit of a musical background. I came up doing quartets. My family's all sang quartets and gospel singers and all that kind of stuff. Now, from what I understand, you are the top singer.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The high.
Now, let's break that down to folks. Now, some folks call it soprano, but if you like real gospel singing, you singing the top.
Yep, the top. Yeah, I have a 4.5 octave range, so yeah. So I was way up there. You hear all that on like I'm at Your Mercy, and I just love the man. That's me, way up top.
Wow. Now, over the years, have you noticed that your voice has gotten lower, or is it still as high as it was?
Well, I sing all of our songs in the same key as when we recorded them years ago, so It's pretty much the same. But then I vocalize all the time, and I still have a vocal coach that when right before I'm getting ready to do a big tour or anything, I go to him for several weeks ahead of time just to keep everything going, make sure everything's right, especially the highs, because that's what people want to hear.
Miss Jones, let me ask you this. People that are singers, I've heard them say, well, I can sing, so I don't need to go to a vocal coach. Is that a misconception?
Well, I mean, to each his own. I
Hmm.
prefer having someone, because I work out vocally. I have things that I do while I'm on the treadmill every day. But then, I just like him to. He does this technique where he have like my daughter or son take a pillow and push it in my stomach for breath control and for high notes.
Wow.
As we do the
Okay.
scales and I sing different songs. But other people, maybe they don't need that or want that, but I do, and it has kept me singing in the same key uh, as 45 years ago, so it works for me.
I know in 45 years, you've seen a lot of things change in this music industry.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things that you've seen, especially relative to female artists?
Well, the first thing is there was no auto tunes back there. You couldn't depend on a machine to make you be on top of your note. That
Yeah.
you couldn't do that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
my youngest sister Valorie happened to be she had perfect pitch. So the Jones girls, one of the things that we're known for are the harmonies, but everybody's note is on point, and that's because of Valorie. So there was no auto tunes, and then you had to sing this the exact same thing over and over and over. That was back in the days of analog. You couldn't just sing the background part here and then they fly it through the rest of the song. So consequently, I believe with all of this technology, it's made a lot of singers, the younger generation especially, lazy because they feel
Yeah.
they sing under the note or over the note because they don't know. They just depend on the producer taking
To
them,
fix it.
to fix it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's not.
Hmm.
I mean, that's not something that that happened back in the day. You had to be on top of your note. That was just, and you had to rehearse and rehearse to make sure you were on top of that note.
Out of the three of you ladies, who was the one that was hardest to catch on?
Me,
No.
as far as choreography, according to Valorie, as far as choreography and well, she was always Shirley, you're under Shirley, you're yeah, constantly. I mean, when we were recording Nights Over Egypt in particular,
Ugh.
all of the producers and everyone had said, "Oh, that's perfect. Let's," because we had decided that because of the uniqueness of the music to Nights Over Egypt, that we
Yes.
wanted the harmonies and the unisons to be the lead voice. We didn't
Yes.
want any. No, you notice no one's doing a step out like on some of our other songs.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, we were in the studio. Dexter and Cynthia had said, "Oh, at about 1 o'clock in the morning, they had said, oh, we got it. This is perfect." And lo and behold, there was Valorie.
She
No,
heard something.
Charlie's note is not quite right. So sometimes we would be there till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because of her ear. So
And she was right, wasn't she?
oh, she was always right. She and my mom, my mom knew voices too because she was the choir director at our church forever and a day too. And
Hmm. Hmm.
they both, they knew harmonies and teaching us for me how to pull back or for Valorie or Brenda to come up some so that my mother used to always say your harmony should be such that you can't cut it with a butter knife. And she would
Mm.
always applaud us when she said, "Oh man, I can't cut this cake. This is so tight. This is so tight. I can't cut this cake, girl." So, and we know that we had a great rehearsal then.
And the thing about voices that are relatives, you can't beat that with anything. If there's something about people being related, and
Yeah, it's
when
the
they
same
sing in harmony.
tones, right? It's the same tones in the
Hmm.
voices, because people, back in the day, people would call and they wouldn't know whether they were talking to me, Valorie, or Brenda. So we
Wow.
talked alike, and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's the same with the emotions. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
Sister Sledge, it's that same tonality that you have for being siblings.
Being from the church, how is the transition from in the church to secular? I know my mom would call it reels, right?
Right.
So how did that transition, and how was it accepted right away, or did you get some pushback from the church, or how was that?
uh, Pushback from my mom. She didn't really want us to change. Uh, but we had our girlfriends, everybody, hitting
Working
her
on it.
up. And then when Holland, Georgia Holland, she said, well, I mean, they don't have to leave the gospel right away, but because we just really want to use their voices for background work.
Mhm,
She said,
mhm, mhm.
okay, well, finally, when she agreed to it, but she was so religious that she was like, okay, I'm going to be there for every session. And she was up until I was 18 years old. And she would sit in that corner with her Bible, and she'd have her glasses on, and she'd be making sure that the musicians or nobody would talk to her girls, because most of them at that time, we were maybe 14, 15, and most of those guys were grown men, very
Right,
in their
right,
20, mid 20s, 30s. And she
right.
just wanted to make sure. So that the only stipulation when she agreed to let us do secular was that she was going to be at our every recording session, from when we were with Holland Dozier Holland to when we were with Curtis Mayfield, and actually until we moved to California with Holland Dozier Holland when they moved in Motown. Yeah, she was there
Wow.
in every
And
session.
that's important. You know what I mean? That's very, very important that your mother was there to make sure she can oversee what's going on with her girls,
Absolutely.
absolutely, because this
Absolutely.
industry will chew you up and spit you out. So I'm glad mama was there. Now, I read somewhere that you read sheet music as well as play the piano.
Yes.
Yes.
We all went to um, the Detroit Conservatory of Music, and then we had Miss Enlow, who not only taught us but taught PJ too. We all studied piano for about 10 years, and that was uh, one of the unique things about us that a lot of artists wanted, was the fact that when we came into the studio to do background work on their projects, it wouldn't take all day because we could read sheet music as well. And that comes from our studying piano. My mother having us study piano for over 10 years.
Did you guys ever get into you know how you have the female groups now, right? And then the female group break up, and then because somebody got mad. You guys were siblings, so you got mad, but you had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we did. We had to figure it out up until it became a big issue, uh, as was told in our unsung story,
Yeah.
and will be um, told even more so on the upcoming Jones Girls movie that we will be working on in 2022. So, uh,
Congratulations.
yes, I'm excited about that, because I'll be executive producer of that, and
Nice.
it's based on a book that I started writing. Uh, I was writing it around 2014, 15, then stopped. But then when Brenda's untimely death happened in 2017, I started writing more because I was hoping and praying that one day we would be able to, talk about the entire story of being a Jones girl.
I am excited about that. I think it's good to be able to tell your own story. That's
Yes.
always a positive. So I
And that's the name of
congratulate.
the book. The name of the book, too, is Being a Jones Girl.
Now,
Yeah.
I also read that you are very, very, very heavy in politics. We won't go there deep because it's
It's
that's a
so
that's a
much, right? Oh,
that's
yeah.
so much. That is so much.
Yes, I'm a proud Democrat, and work for different people here in my local community and help them. And at one point, I was even going to run for city council here in my community, but my schedule would keep me from being able to dedicate as much of myself that I would like to. So I didn't. I chose not to do that.
I would encourage you maybe later.
Maybe.
You know what I
Maybe
mean?
when things slow down, but right now I'm excited and happy about being able to get back out there and keep that legacy of the Jones Girls alive and kicking.
And I want to talk about that in a time when, you have so many artists out now. I don't know. The pandemic brought out literally a gazillion artists. I'm like, who are all these people? You still have a place. How does that feel to still have a place that's relevant in this music industry? How does that feel?
It feels wonderful. It feels.
Mhm.
I just wish my sisters, Brenda and Valorie, I just wish they were here, because it all started maybe about 2015,
Okay.
um, when I noticed the dates for me were picking up, and
Mhm.
I'm like, people really want to hear, this music.
Yes.
And so I call it now the Jones Girls Experience, because I take people down memory lane, with our songs from "You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else," "I Just Love the Man," "Who Can I Run To," "I'm at Your Mercy," "Dance Turn to Romance,"
Oh,
"Children of the Night," "Do You Get Enough Love?" And
oh,
it's a journey, and I talk about the experiences of me and my sisters, because I became more determined than ever after Brenda's passing that I was going to make sure
mhm,
the
mhm.
world does not forget about the Jones Girls.
There is absolutely no way that can happen, but thank you. But I just did a little bit of research on just a few of your songs. I mean, there was absolutely, when I started, I was like, okay, no, just pick three, literally. Your song, now this is just what I've gathered. Okay. Nice Over Egypt has been
Mm-hmm.
sampled 29 times.
Yep. Yep.
Who Can I Run To has been sampled 45 times.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
How can it ever go away? Who
Yeah.
can I, who can I Run To was redone by Escape. How did you feel about that remix? Well, not really remix, because it's literally the same. Like
Right.
they
Right.
didn't change it much at all. How did you guys
Right.
feel about that?
We were actually happy about it, because of course we had broken up at the time, and the only one that was still singing of sorts was me. And it brought back a lot of attention, because remember in 1995, "Who Can I Run To" was the B-side. Let me say that first, of "You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else," because back in the day there was an A-side and a B-side,
Right.
And so, um, with it being the B-side, radio picked up on it and started playing it. But in 1995, we had been broken up, my sisters and I, since, oh my goodness, I would say 1990. And so when they did it, it brought back a lot of attention, because that was back in the days when the DJ would play their version and then play our version, because the DJs were all older, and they would be like, "Yeah, you all think that Escape,
That's
this is
new, right?
the original song, but the Jones Girls did it first." And so that's when people started saying, "Wow, that original version is off the chain." And then when Jermaine Dupri did it on the girls, and so they surprised me on a radio show I was on, and they were like, "We hope we did the song justice." And I said, "You guys not only did it justice, but you brought back a whole new generation to the Jones Girls. So thank you all, for doing that song."
I can remember the video distinctly, and they did it was very classy.
Very classy.
Do you remember
Yes.
the video? It was
Yes.
so classy, and that
Yeah.
paid a lot of homage to you guys as well.
Yes, yeah, because that's we considered ourselves. Well, I mean, after you worked with Diana Ross for 3 years, the classiest, greatest entertainer of all times, as far
Oh
as
my
I'm concerned,
gosh. Oh
we
my
were able to study her for 3 years, and learn as far as how we were going to be. So consequently, that classiness and elegance, it rolled right on over into our style.
How long did it take for you to not be odd when you saw Diana walk in the room? Because I did hear something that was like one of your biggest, biggest artists that you just loved. How long did it take to get rid of that butterflies?
Probably it took probably the first month, because when we were when we actually auditioned, we thought we were auditioning for her music director and her road manager. In fact, we went up to her road manager's house to audition, and our manager, McKinley Jackson, played the piano, and we had rehearsed "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" and "Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand." And when we were singing, we were just excited because the looks on Gil Lasky and Don Peake, they, was like, oh wow, these girls really sound good. And then all of a sudden, out of coming down this long hallway
Ugh.
was Diana Ross. And
Oh,
we did, and probably they kept her back in the back room because we would have been extremely nervous, because I mean, we grew up absolutely loving the Supremes.
ugh.
And the first words out of her mouth were, "You guys are terrific. Can you get passports? We're going to London." And we were
Wow.
like on cloud nine from that moment up until probably a month later, when we were actually over in London, when we start pinching ourselves and saying, you know, especially because she was so down to
Yes.
earth, and she was just
Mhm.
so sweet and so concerned about us, because she had a 30-piece entourage, the majority being men, the band and the
Yes, yes,
strings,
yes,
and
yes.
because back in the day they traveled with the strings and horns and everything. They didn't pick them
Wow.
up city to city like we do now.
Yeah.
So it was like 30, 35 people on the road, and there were only five women. That was her, me and my sisters, and her personal assistant. So when we would have off days, she would always check with her uh, road manager and Gil to make sure the girls were okay. And even some off days, she would call us and she'd be like, "What are you guys doing?" And we'd be like, "Well, we're just getting ready to rehearse, or we getting ready to go up the street and visit this place or that place." And she would be like, "Well, let's go shopping," and we'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
So
okay.
we became friends with her, and she always looked out for us, because she knew we were just three young girls from Detroit,
Yeah.
that basically the furthest we had gone was from Detroit to California. And then here we were singing with the biggest entertainer in the world back in 1976, which was
Oh
Diana
my
Ross.
gosh. Now, what were your mother? Was your mother still with us at that time, or had she?
Yes. Oh, yeah. My mom passed away in 2006. So she actually passed away 5 years after Valorie. Well, Val passed in
Life long.
2001. So it'll be 20 years since Val passed. Yes.
So your mom got an opportunity to
Oh,
see.
Oh yeah, and she would come to, Diana always did a residency in Vegas, and she even had my mom sing. She would reach out and touch somebody's hand and walk through the audience, and my
Uh-huh.
mom killed it one night when she handed her the microphone, and she says, "See, that's where my girls get this from." Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to be able to have experienced that with your mom, though? Like it kind of came full circle,
Oh, it
right?
did. And that's why I tell people all the time, when I'm out here, I'm keeping not only the legacy of the Jones girls, but Mary Fraser Jones too, because
Yes.
if it were not for her and her ear for voices, and
Yes.
knowing what she had in us, and training those voices, and even sending us to the Detroit Conservatory of Music to make sure that what she was doing was correct, and had professionals training our voices as well as the piano. We would not have had the opportunities. I just don't think that we would have, because it was just a beauty in the way
Mhm.
she had us rehearse and trained our voices.
Was there ever a time that you didn't want to do it, like as a kid? Like, I don't
Never,
want to do this.
never,
You always
not
wanted it.
never.
Okay.
Always. I have friends now that when we go into the movie, they're going to be talking to them about how at in third grade, my mother trained me to sing at the Christmas show, Ave Maria, but it was in Latin. So in third grade, I and friends of mine that actually went to school with me, they talk about that all the time. How they used to the teachers used to say, um, "Okay, let's hurry up and finish our work. And if we finish our work and everything is correct, Shirley's gonna sing for us." And they said they would sit there and they would be so excited because they just loved hearing me sing. So I've always been singing.
Stage fright.
No. Nervous,
Really?
a little nervousness before
Hmm.
each performance because you want to just make sure that you're giving your all and that and everything. But no, I've performed with the Jacksons, Michael Jackson, so
Really?
different for everybody. So there, no, it's not stage fright anymore.
Was there ever an artist outside of Diana Ross that you actually was in the company of or sang with that you just literally was like, this is completely has blown my mind tonight? Like,
Of course, Aretha Franklin.
ah,
Yeah, Aretha.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, when we did Almighty Fire album with her, um, we, just, because she had done her parts, but one day she happened to come into the studio when we were singing background, and we were like, okay, that's Aretha Franklin.
Right.
Actually, I mean,
In here.
she just walked in here,
I can touch
and
her.
we were fangirls then. We were like, oh my God, this is,
Yeah.
and we became friends. Later, because she had years earlier, before the Almighty Fire album, we had sang with my mom at her father's church for one of his church anniversaries. So
Okay.
yeah, but at maybe age 10 or 11, and respect was, I just remember respect was big then, and she came to the church and she told my mother then, man, these girls, you and these girls are phenomenal. Those harmonies are just like silk. And then 10 years, 8, 10 years later, here we are singing background on her Almighty Fire album.
I mean, and it's so funny when to hear you talk about it because it's so. I mean, it's your life and it's just what you did. But to
Yeah.
me, I'm going, you're just throwing out names like it was nothing. Oh yeah, I sing background for Dinah Ross and I met Aretha. And was there ever an artist that you wanted to sing with, past or present, that you want to sing with?
Past or present? Uh, uh, Probably, I would say, hmm. Well, I'm getting ready to do a duet with one of my favorite singers and friend, Lenny Williams. Yeah, we're doing a duet that's going to be coming out at the first of the year, and
Oh,
he's somebody I wanted to sing with, and probably the OJ's. We would have loved to have done something with them, but that didn't work out. Even though we were on the road with them a lot, and they're like today, brothers of mine. But I
mhm.
think us, the Jones Girls and the OJ's, doing a song would have been really special.
Really, 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 really nice.
Yeah,
Now, you're still performing. You just performed for Shelley Garrett's 30th anniversary at the Essence Festival alongside Mary J. Blige. Now, y'all listen. Let me let y'all just listen. Mary J. Blige, Shaka Khan, Layla Hathaway, and other artists. Your strength. Let me see. Mary's Strength of a Woman's Night,
right.
2018. Shirley showed up and showed out at Tom Joner's Fantastic Voyage cruise. Now, these cruises, Tom
Yeah.
Ford,
I
I heard that is
It's absolutely amazing, and it's still going out. Tom's not on the radio anymore, but it's still going out. In fact, they just got back, I think, this past Saturday, because Lenny was on the cruise. But I mean, hey, those cruises, you talking about partying all night long, just a boat full of wonderful, beautiful black people. It was the most And that was such a great experience for me and my band and singers.
I heard that it's a party and people are like,
All
listen,
night
it's like
long.
a big family reunion. Like people are
All
just,
night long. Yes, it is. Yes.
my thought was, let me get Shirley Jones out here on this water. She can't run from it. So we're going to sit here at this bar. We're going to talk.
Right. And that's what I did with a lot of the fans and the people that were there. Even Tom. Tom was out. He was around, talking to people. I mean, because you're all on this. Even though the boat is big, after the first couple of days, you see and you know where everything is. So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we did stay. My singers and I, we stayed on for the entire week, so we got a chance to
Nice.
not only perform. We performed twice, but we were able to just enjoy the festivities and the stops that the boat made and everything.
Now, I'm assuming that you, of course, you have a gazillion songs yourself, but when you're in concert, do you still do some of the Jones Girls stuff as well?
All Jones, mainly Jones Girls, and then my
Okay.
stuff. I do break off and do a tribute to Diana and Aretha and Gladys. My favorites, my idols. So um,
Yes.
it's just a fun field show that
Yes.
when people leave, like my sisters and I, one of the things that we always wanted to do, we wanted to make sure that people, when they left our concert, that they felt loved, that
Yes.
they felt enlightened, and that they felt
Yes.
uplifted. So
Nice.
that's one of the things that we would work hard and practice to make sure that everybody would leave a Jones Girls concert with a smile on their face. And I'm doing that right now. That's the main thing I tell everybody. You make sure when you walk out there, you smile at a stranger, because it's all
Yes.
about love. That's what
It's
it is.
all about love.
Yes.
How you having to get background singers to sing with you and sing your stuff.
Yes. And
How
I,
hard is that to get that sound
uh,
close?
Well, the ones that I have now, they live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they have been with me for 10 years. They are absolutely fabulous. They
Good.
are, yes. And it took me a minute, and I trained them. I had some other ones. And then when I go like overseas, I have some singers too. And the beauty is that all of these girls, when they audition for me or come to me, they're always like, "Oh my God, we practiced you and your sister's sound," and it's amazing because they can give me what I want so that I'm able to uh, give the best performance on my vocals, on my lead vocals.
Are you noticing how much I'm smiling?
Yeah,
It's like,
me too.
right, I'm just smiling. I'm like, oh, it feels good. If people only knew what we've been through to make this interview
Yeah,
happen.
you know.
That's why I
I
want to
tell
talk
you.
a little bit about Cameron and PJ.
Oh my God, my two. Those are my two loves. They're my everything, and their project, the Jones Connection, where they redid at least six of our songs hip hop style.
Wow.
I'm so impressed with it that we're overseas quite a bit next year, and I'm taking them, and they're going to actually be opening for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so that people can get introduced to their music, because it's phenomenal. I absolutely love what they're doing. So we're gonna be out there, 2022.
Congratulations. It's
Thank
a
you.
blessing to, sometimes the younger folks, I guess they would be considered millennials, right? Do you
They
fall
no,
in that
they
category?
they're a little older. They're 32. Yeah,
Okay,
so
so they're outside of it just a little bit.
just a little bit. Yeah,
But it's amazing that they can appreciate the music. I know your mom, your
oh
auntie
yeah,
get it.
they grew up with with it, but they didn't realize um the effect that our music had on other people
Mhm,
until maybe around 2015, 16. And
mhm.
they've just been amazed at this resurgence of people wanting, with the pandemic, people wanted to listen to good music, and
Yes.
thanks to people like D Nice and Fat
Yes.
Joe, they just
Yes.
that Anderson Paak, all these people I found out were just huge fans of ours and of
Yeah,
music from the 80s, like my girl
absolutely.
Melba Moore and,
Uh,
Freddie Jackson and all these people.
yes.
That's the music that people wanted to listen to as we were quarantining and couldn't go anywhere. And
Miss
so
Shirley
that
is good music.
Yes, it's really good music. And I think the trick to it all is that it's music that was real music, live instruments, live
Mm.
vocals that aren't auto-tuned, that's straining and all that. And that's what people wanted to hear, because I call it comfort music, where you feel it just makes you feel so relaxed and feel good, especially I'm finding out that Nights Over Egypt, like Fat Joe
Oh,
was telling me, his wife introduced him to Nights Over Egypt and how he fell in love with it. And Anderson Paak, that's one of his favorite songs. So
it's a
it's a
good song.
yes.
I want to let you know this. Your music is at the era where, for my generation, we would say it's our auntie. Now, let me do
Yeah,
it for
everybody calls me Auntie
you.
now.
Right.
Yeah, Auntie
It's
Shirley.
it feels that way. You know how auntie would be over in the corner and she hear her song. She said, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's what you
yeah, yeah.
that's what your music is right there." Like,
I got
oh,
that a lot with a lot with I Just Love the Man. Especially,
oh,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
preaching. You're preaching in the songs is what's happening. So it's just you're preaching in it. Now, the reason why we want no, I don't want to go there yet. I wanted to talk about one other thing before we start talking about your new song that you have out, okay? And your
Okay.
projects coming up and all that. I saw something on your Facebook. I'm nosy, so I was looking. You have, and correct me if I'm wrong, make sure I read this correct. You have a grandson that is on the spectrum.
Yes, exactly. And he was the one that was over here today. And um, he is coming along. I'm so proud of him and
Praise
his
God.
achievements. Uh, because when they diagnosed him, he's low end of the spectrum, but um, it's been a challenge, and uh, we've been working hard. We have him; he's in school, and then
Good
we have additional speech and OT therapy for him.
therapy. Mhm.
And he's talking now. He's counting. He's counting and adding, and he's just 3. He'll be 4 next month. But we're still trying to get him to verbalize a little more. But uh, he's my joy. He is truly, and the accomplishments that you can get from them. And he's a superb uh, builder. He can build all these beautiful uh,
Yes.
with his block. So yes,
Yes.
he's a sweetheart.
Reason why I wanted to bring that up is that I have a grandson that just he actually today is his birthday. He turned 8,
Okay.
and he's on the spectrum as well.
Okay.
So when I saw that connection was like, wow.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I know what it feels like, Grandma. Um, it's hard. It's hard at first.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's very hard, and I don't want to get emotional, but you try to figure it out. Like, okay, what I know he's smart, but why? Why? You want
Right.
to ask the question why.
Why? Yeah.
I want to tell you this. It gets better.
Ooh. Thank you for telling me, because his mom and I, we have been. Whoa, boy. Yeah.
Grandma,
No,
look, one grandma to another one. It gets
it's
better.
okay. That
Jemai,
makes me feel good.
yes, he loves to build things, and he wasn't talking that much at all. Now he talks all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, great. I
It
hope so
gets
with
better.
Genesis. Yes. Okay.
It
Great.
gets better. So I will make sure I check in on him and his progress, and hopefully you'll be willing to share how
Absolutely.
he's doing as it
Absolutely, I
goes.
will. Yes, please. Thank
Just
you.
stay, just stay
Because
positive.
we both
Stay
are, his mom and I are both on online groups for kids, that are on the spectrum. So, and they give us so much advice and encouragement. So,
yes,
it's a beautiful thing.
he's
Beautiful,
going to be
beautiful thing.
fine. Trust
Yeah.
me, he's going to be fine. You understand? He's gonna
Thank
be fine.
you.
Whatever that looks like. We have to get to a point where we say, you know what? Whatever this looks like, he's gonna be fine.
He's
And we
gonna.
are too,
Yes, exactly.
right?
Yes.
We figure out how to adjust and speak their language, whatever that may
Yeah.
be, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is his diet? Because my grandson's diet is horrible. He just
Uh,
eats carbs. That's it.
and that's him too. He refuses to eat meat.
Yeah.
But with his occupational therapist, as soon as she feels that he's more comfortable with her, he's only been dealing with her for the past 2 months. She's
Okay.
going to start a food therapy with him
Yeah.
to try to introduce him to meats because he looks at his food. He counts like he loves French
Yes.
fries,
Yes.
cheese, grilled
Yeah.
cheese, macaroni and cheese,
Yeah.
but he will not touch meat. He won't touch it. And we
Well, he'll
really,
probably start with the skin. My grandson started eating the skin off of the chicken, like fried
oh,
chicken. He'll eat all the skin.
okay.
And I'm
Okay.
sitting there like, oh, great, your diet is just terrific. So
Yeah.
you're gonna eat the skin off this fried chicken and uh goldfish
Well,
for
see,
dinner.
now we give him Pediasure to make sure he's getting
Nice.
yeah, so we do that. But the things that he eats because he's not, thin and he's
Yeah.
not fat or anything. But we, right now, I really hope he says he's been saying hot dog lately. So
All right.
I'm gonna tell his OT tomorrow that maybe the first thing we should try to introduce him to is a hot dog because he said hot dog. And so we'll
Don't
see
try bread with it though. Just try the hot
the
dog.
hot dog
Just
and
start with the
chop
hot
it
dog.
up in
No
little
ketchup,
pieces,
nothing. Just the hot
and he's
dog.
gonna take it and put it between his fingers and maybe eat it.
Oh, he
We
might
hope.
lick it. That might be it, but that's
We
okay. It's a
hope.
start.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a project. First of all, you have several projects that you're working on, but
Yeah.
we're just going to talk about a couple of them. Soul Stepping is a project that you just released. I'm going to play a
Yes.
little bit of it. Hold on. See if they can hear it. I hope they can hear it on there. Listen,
Yes.
what I like about this song, several things I like about the song, but the lyrics. Clearly, you wrote this song during the pandemic.
I absolutely did. Yes. Yes, I did.
What was your inspiration to write this song other than get us out, give us free? What was your
Just
inspiration?
I was so tired of being in the house, because I was so afraid of catching COVID. You know, mainly because and so disappointed that so many people didn't want to, get the shot. I mean, when I was eligible, I went on and got it and getting
Me
ready to
too.
get the booster as soon as I'm eligible for that. Um,
Mhm.
but when things looked like they were starting to open back up, I happened to uh, get it. Somebody referred this young guy to me that had these beats, and he sent the beat to me, and he was calling the beat soul stepping, and I'm like, okay, soul stepping, not knowing that he was telling me you could change the title,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
do whatever you want to do, but I'm like, no, I like that. And
yeah.
so and then I was like, what, how can I write something to soul stepping? And then I just started humming the melody, and it just came. Things are back open, and time to go outside. So and then I was calling Cam and PJ, and I said, "Do y'all like that?" And they go, "Oh yeah, that." And so it took me about a day and a half to finish it, and everybody. I said, "Hey, let's go into the studio." The guy, I sent it to the guy that sent the beat, and he's like, "Oh my God, I love that! I love that!" And everybody was like, "Oh, that's gonna be so great!" And we went in the studio and cut it, and here we go. And I'm loving the response. Everybody's like, it's just such a feel good, fun
Exactly.
song.
And we need
and
that.
we all need that. Let's do some soul stepping. Let's just thank the Lord that we're alive. I'm so glad to be alive, came through this. My condolences and heart goes out to those that didn't make it. But
Yes.
we're gonna be soul stepping for them,
That's right.
so
That's right.
it's a time to just get on out there.
I want to introduce it, of course, to the stepping community.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to introduce it to them. I hear it more of a line dance,
And
though.
that's what it is. In fact, I'll send you the clip. This guy,
Okay.
uh, he took a line dance that was being done to some other music, but it fit
Uh-huh.
this perfectly, and I'm using it as a promotional video. I'll send it to you soon as we're done here.
Please, because
Yeah, it's so cute.
we have a lot of line dance instructors in our community. So
Yes.
I was going to give it to them and say, why don't you guys create a line dance to it,
Yeah.
submit it to Miss Jones, and
Yeah.
let her see if she likes it. And
Yeah.
you just never know. What do
You
you
never
think?
know, because I'm going to be shooting a video in about 3 weeks. And that's one of the things we decided to do after this guy created this line dance. And so a girlfriend of mine who's a choreographer in Detroit, she's creating one for the video.
Okay,
Um,
very good. Okay.
yeah, and she's creating one for the video, and she's going to be coming in. We were shooting for the 28th of this month, but you know, we're going to just push it back. Probably right before Christmas, it'll be done, and people will be able to see it in January.
Do you guys need any background singers? Not singers, dancers.
It's going to be an open call because
Okay.
I'm renting this restaurant, kind of like a ballroom,
Okay.
and we're gonna have everybody. So I will let you know, and if you come to the ATL, come
I
on.
am. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you in Atlanta?
I live here. That's why I told you I was coming to your house if we couldn't get this situation together.
Oh, well, wonderful. I
I'm
will
here.
definitely let you know when we're shooting it, because we're
Yes.
gonna be asking for a lot of line dances and stuff. And the way that the videographer, he even wants me coming off the stage from singing it, and join in on the line dance. Now I have two left feet, but I'm gonna join in for the
Well,
video.
honey, the beautiful part about line dancing, you know what I mean? You can have two left feet. Just let's be cute. And you already
Right.
cute. So you ain't got to worry about it. You all right.
Okay,
No.
cool.
We if
Cool.
listen, don't you didn't mess up. We all messed up. It's your song. So
Well,
no, we all messed up,
I'm
y'all, not
gonna
her.
tell everybody that.
You have a tribute to your sisters that you're creating or you're starting on a project now, right?
Well, I'm almost done. It's just two other songs that I'm doing. And hopefully they'll be done by Christmas, before Christmas, because this album, "In Loving Memory" is the title, will
Okay.
be coming out in February.
And Midnight Mellow.
Yes, by Michonne. Yeah, my girl.
Lashani Young.
Love
So
Michonne Young.
y'all know that's our girlfriend right there, Michonne Young.
Yes, yes.
She wrote this song for Miss Shirley Jones, and so we're very excited to hear this project as well. Herself and her husband contributed that song to you, so I am excited to hear that one as well. Have you ever done a Christmas album?
I have not. But I'm going to be going into the studio in January to record a Christmas song for next year. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And that's something I've always wanted to do. My sisters and I wanted to do one. But we didn't get the chance. So I'm so thankful and grateful that I've been asked to do this song, and it will be next Christmas that you'll be hearing it.
I have an idea. Like now, my ideas sometimes they be great, sometimes they don't. But just hear me out. Um, Baby, do you get enough love? Do you get enough love? Put Silent Night on it. Same track.
Ah, okay.
Hey, I know, right? No?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
Here's the thing, like with me with Christmas songs, like I always like to see people or hear people do them a little bit different.
oh yeah, but this is an original song that that this guy
Oh,
wrote. Yeah, this is an original Christmas song that I love. It's beautiful, and we're hoping that it becomes like, this Christmas, or
an anthem.
chestnuts roasting on an oak. The so
Yeah.
we're hoping, because it has that type of melody. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for you. I'm very happy for you.
thank you,
Congratulations.
thank
Um,
you.
and I don't like to use the word resurgent. You've been here. You know what I mean? You haven't gone anywhere. You know?
I have not, but with hip hop and um, the new music that they're doing, people kind of pushed hardcore. I consider myself hardcore R&B.
Yeah.
They pushed that music kind of back, but I'm telling you, with the pandemic, the people were like, we don't want to hear no hip hop. We want to hear that old school music from the
Yes.
70s and the 80s. And
Yes.
kudos to all my girls and guys, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and
Oh man.
Gene Carn and
Oh,
Melba and
oh,
Jody Watley, and Stephanie Mills. Hey,
oh.
it's our time, and we are all just so excited about being out there to do our performances again. So,
And all of you guys look amazing. I'm thinking, where have they been? In a chamber? What's the name of them? They got to they just been sitting up in chambers or something. You guys, all of you guys look amazing.
it's amazing to see, because Melba and Jean and I and Melissa Morgan all did a
Oh,
right before the pandemic. We were all together over in London, and became,
nice.
well, Jean and I have been, best friends forever and a day. But I met Melba, and I'm a fan, because I played Ludabelle in college, and and she was just, I mean, just to meet her, and I tell her to this day, that I'm just a fangirl as far as she's concerned, because she has just had such a phenomenal career,
Yeah.
and and you talking about somebody that looks amazing. I'm like, girl.
I interviewed her the other week and I was literally like in the thing
Yeah,
going, okay,
yeah,
what? Really? She's
yeah,
funny. It's so funny.
yeah.
She's such a funny person. She's
She
so funny.
is. She
She's so
is.
funny. She's so
That's
cute.
my girl. Yeah.
I want to wish you well. I will be watching you. Just know I will be watching everything that you're doing. Are you
Well,
going to do
thank you.
verses?
People they've been trying to do. They've been talking about the Jones Girls versus the Emotions. So
Ooh,
yeah, that's
yes.
what they've been talking about, trying to get that. So many people, um, and because it's really like, I think Wanda has her daughter and
Mhm.
her daughter singing, uh, but and me, I have my backup girls are bad, so um, that would be a great verses, and I believe they've been working, trying to get Swiss Beats and Timberland. So hey, y'all keep telling them that you want it to be. I'm looking forward to Thursday with Chaka and Stephanie Mills.
Oh, I don't. I want to put you on the spot. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to ask you who you got. I can't. I'm
Okay.
not going to do that.
Hey, I have to. Hey, I got my girl Chaka. I
That's
got
me
Chaka. I,
too.
I love Stephanie, but and Stephanie's but Chaka. Hey, all of I'm every woman. Come
And
on with it.
Rufus, when
Yeah,
she was with Rufus, all
with
that.
Rufus. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But
how do you pick 20 songs? Like, how do you
exactly.
even?
How do
You
you do?
too. You need to start working on your 20.
you know and the
My,
emotions too. I mean, because the
oh,
people say that the group that we are most compared to is the emotion. So
yes,
that would be a great verses, and
that really would
I
be.
hope it comes. I hope it does. Come to fruition, because me and my girls ready. I tell you, we are ready.
That's a wolf ticket. They call
There
those
we
wolf
go.
tickets.
We ready. We ready. Emotions.
I love it. Did you get an opportunity to see the one with Patti LaBelle and Gladys?
Absolutely. Yeah, because people called me. I was coming in from, I think it was Birmingham. I had a show and we were driving back, and
Oh,
the song that, how they play the songs before the verses, my phone was blowing up, and they're like, Patty chose "Nights Over Egypt" for one of the songs that they played before the
Uh-huh.
beginning. So,
Uh-huh.
and I
Uh-huh.
knew she would. That's my label mate and my friend. So
Oh my God. Listen, that one was good too. I'm just
excellent,
I
excellent.
enjoyed that. I enjoyed when the guys were there. Who was the um ah, they called him Zaddy after it was over.
The Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and
Yes,
Fire. Yeah, boy. Yes, that was a great one too.
Miss Shirley. I'm going. Even Steve Harvey said, "How do you pick 20?" Like what?
Yeah, yeah.
That was good.
Because but if it happens, we got 20 for you.
Let
We
me where
got
my fan
20.
at? There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I have enjoyed my time with you. I know
Me
you've had a
too.
busy day. You've had the grandbabies.
Girl, I'm
So I
getting
know you're
ready to go
tired.
have a glass of wine and
Oh,
wind down.
well, well,
Cause I got the same two tomorrow.
oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
my daughter just started a new job, and we haven't. We're interviewing daycares to put them in, but with the holidays being next week, we found one, but they're not going to go to daycare until that following Monday. So
Mhm.
grandma got grandma duty from now.
Yeah, look, have fun.
Yeah,
I've
I know.
been there.
But
Got the
definitely, we
t-shirt.
need to talk, and you can keep me informed. Because we're new at this, and we were, uh, the I just remember the at Marcus Autism Center when they diagnosed him.
Diagnosed it. Yeah.
The one thing that the psychologist told us is because I said, is he going to be able to be a functioning, adult? She said, if you guys throw absolutely everything at him
Mhm.
between now and the time he's 7 or 8, then we'll be able to tell. And so far, I believe, because, we have the additional what he gets speech therapy and OT at the school. He's there Tuesday through Friday, 3 hours a day. But
Mm,
he Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have a private special speech therapist and OT specialist in addition
nice.
to that. So
Nice.
he's coming along, and I'm just praying, because I just want him to be okay.
It's be
Because
fine.
so many people don't understand children that are on the spectrum, and I'm learning because I didn't know. I mean, none of us expected that, but
Nope.
they're children of God, like we all are, and I'm
Amen.
going to do everything in my power to help all of those children on the spectrum. That's one of the foundations that I told my daughter. I said, well, that's what we're going to be creating. To
Mm,
help children on the spectrum, because people have got to understand that, hey, they see things out of a different window pane, but it's
that's
the
it.
same. It's still beauty. It's beautiful.
And I want to tell you this, and I'm preaching to myself as well when I make this statement. We have to make sure we don't start to operate in fear because it
Right,
starts to get scary after a while when you start looking at it's your son, it's the
right.
grandbaby, it's the son, right?
It's my
It's the boy.
he's a boy.
It's the boy.
Genesis.
Okay. Right.
Hmm.
We start to get into let me just speak for myself. You start to get into that fear of, it's a black boy, it's a brown boy, and people may not understand and things like that. And we have to make sure we don't get into that fear, my sister.
Right,
Continue to pray about that.
I do.
Um,
Yes.
and when he starts to blossom, because he will,
Hmm.
it's a beautiful thing. When I
Yes.
tell you it is a beautiful thing, just a little bit. My grandson is, if he's very scientific. He loves science, math. That's all, math, reading, all of that. He speaks German.
Wow.
We have no idea how he speaks German. We're from Atlanta, Georgia. I was raised in Decatur.
Wow.
So we're going, German.
What?
And when he started to speak, we had no idea what it was. We thought it was just gibberish. And we're like, okay, he's been going to therapy for speak. What is happening? And so when he started school, one of the other teachers heard him because they were going to put him in a class. You know how they do, put him over in a
Yeah.
class, whatever. She said, no, 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 he's speaking German. So she communicates with him in German.
Wow.
Now we can't talk to him much because he'll
Right.
switch up in a minute. Like, okay,
Right.
but he
Wow.
speaks fluent
Well,
German.
you have given us so much encouragement, and it just makes me feel all the more determined to make sure that we throw everything at him, uh,
Everything.
everything.
Their
And so
brains
far,
are sponges.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah.
Like, put him on headphones and just put some Spanish in, like
Okay.
a cartoon in Spanish. We used to do that all the time. So
Yeah.
then he started speaking Spanish.
Well, that hey, I'll definitely do that.
Serious. And also, before I let you go, piano,
Okay.
because
Okay.
they know how to work both sides of their brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, and
And
then
so
then it already runs in our family with PJ and all of us. So there you go.
there you go.
Thank
Put
you
him on
so
piano.
much for that advice.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
it'll relax him. He'll love it.
And and we've got to keep in touch. And I'm getting ready to send you that that
Yes. Send
line
me
that
that.
yeah, because I have your email. I'm sending it to you now. You take
Love you,
care. It's been a
sister. You take
pleasure.
care. It's been a delight.
And
Love
God
you
bless.
guys so much. Congratulations. And we look forward to seeing what you're going to do.
Hey now, hey, I'm out there
Bye.
coming to a city near you.
Yes, so
All right.
stepping. Make sure y'all get that CD. Make sure y'all get whatever she was releasing. Oh, wait a minute before I let you go. I actually can let you go. I'll go ahead and give your plugs, your social media stuff. Now
Social
your music.
media.
Yes.
Instagram and Facebook is Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls, and my website is Shirley Jones Girl, no S, ShirleyJonesGirl.com. Hit me
Nice.
up, follow me, and I'll follow you right back.
Ah! All right, darling. You take care.
You too. God
Be
bless.
good.
Take care.
God
Bye
bless
bye.
you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
That was amazing, right? Yay! That was amazing. We finally made this interview happen for you guys tonight. That was fun. Make sure you guys follow Shirley Jones. Keep up with what she's doing. Continue to, hey, pray for her grandson. Make sure he's okay. And any other kid that's on the spectrum, anybody that's on the spectrum, pray for them and be for understanding. You know what I mean? So I've enjoyed myself this evening. Thank you so much for sipping tea. It was late, but we got it in. So thank you so much again, Miss Shirley. And look, we look forward to seeing you again, doing some more stuff. All right. Oh yeah, also go to no, not VH1, it's TV1. They have the unsung of the Jones Girls. So make sure you guys look at that as well. So I'm excited to see that as well. It's already out. I missed it. So I have to go back and look at it myself. But anyway, I am out of here. I've enjoyed myself tonight. You guys get some rest. Get some rest. Love you. Bye. Sip, sip.